I'm about to show you a video clip of Luis Elizondo admitting something that, if true, will change science, sociology, culture, philosophy, theology, spirituality, and just about every human convention on our planet. They don't call it the paradigm shift for nothing, folks. Within the entire segment, Luis Elizondo explains to Tucker Carlson that while it's possible an adversary was able to develop technology that match the capabilities of UAP, it is highly improbable. Not the least of which, the reason being that the United States has the most sophisticated weapon systems on the face of the earth. And here's the video clip that's going to bake your noodle, as the Oracle would say.
So let me ask you one last question. Do you believe, based on your decade of serving in the U.S. government on this question, that the U.S. government has in its possession any material from one of these aircrafts?
I do, yes.
You think the U.S. government has debris from a UFO in its possession right now?
Unfortunately, Tucker, I really have to be careful of my NDA. I really can't go into a lot of more detail than that.
Okay.
But simply put, yes.
Luis Elizondo, since around 2007, since around the past 10 years, was the head of a UFO program in the Pentagon called ATIP. And he just went on national television and told the world that the United States government has in its possession, at very minimum, a piece of non-human derived technology. You know, it's no wonder that Luis Elizondo is on fire to get this conversation into the public discourse of the American people regarding what is most likely a non-human presence. Hell, he couldn't even get this information up the chain of command in the Pentagon to former Secretary of State James Mattis. Could you imagine living with the burden of knowing that we have literally mounds of incontrovertible evidence that we're not alone in the universe? Imagine contemplating this while standing atop a high-rise, looking out at the glistening lights of the city that represents average citizens, and knowing that they're in the dark about the biggest revelation that the human species could possibly have. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, would you? And that's probably a major reason Luis Elizondo resigned from his post in protest. Now, let's dig a little deeper and ask the question, how the hell did the United States government come in possession of an alien artifact? Well, there's a couple plausible ways the United States government could have acquired non-human, technologically derived artifacts. For one, there's a lot of these damn things flying around. Let's harken back to the May 26 New York Times bombshell article. It was stated in that article that from about the summer of 2014 to around March of 2015, roughly 9 months, there were almost daily incursions of these UAP against battle strike groups. So that's a lot of interference. That's a lot of flying craft not from our world. If just one of those may have crashed, or if just something may have fallen off one of these probes or craft, the United States military would be all over that. They would want to retrieve that and study it and try to learn how this technology works. In a future episode of the docuseries Unidentified on the History Channel, Lieutenant Graves, fighter pilot, has stated that when the Roosevelt aircraft carrier deployed to the Gulf of Arabia, the damn UAPs emerged again. These UAP, these non-human craft, are seemingly all over the globe. This is not an American problem, and it's not a Middle Eastern problem. It's a worldwide problem. So there's a lot of these craft, and all you need is either one of them to go down or a part of one of them to go down. And all of a sudden, you're in possession of an artifact from another world. Another possibility of how these artifacts are acquired is what Jack Valet has spoken about, which is metal slag is somehow emptied from the craft itself. This could be a mechanical necessity based on the technology within these craft, Or it's very plausible it could be some kind of donation. In other words, the craft is releasing advanced metamaterials so that our species will find that material and then study it and sort of indirectly help us along to evolve technologically. And finally, there's the possibility that even an intact, fully operating extraterrestrial craft was discovered through excavation. In fact, that is exactly what Bob Lazar has said he thinks is how the United States government has gotten in possession of fully intact, non-human derived technological craft. He said that when he was working out at S4, he seems to remember chatter from his superiors that they said the way they discovered these craft was through an archaeological excavation. Now, I have no idea whether that's true or not, but nevertheless, it is plausible that that's a means for which the U.S. government could get in possession of these alien technological craft. And for those of you that are struggling as we passage into a post-disclosure world and the paradigm shifts, don't worry. As soon as this video is over, you'll feel much better. You'll remember you don't believe in any of this disclosure crap. It's you who gets to determine what is real and what is not real. Remember? Here. Take a cookie. I promise you that once you're done eating this cookie, you'll feel as right as rain. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you'd like to support this channel, you can check out my merch shop where I sell t-shirts, link is in the description below, or you can even become a patron. Or you can just slap a like on this bad boy, and I'll appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.